What's up, guys? It's Christian back at you with another Thursday video. So obviously you can tell by the title I'm going to talk about my experience at Eloise Asylum. But first, before we get into that, a little bit of information for the future is that I plan to do a couple more ghost hunting videos in the future. Some I'm going to do with my friend James, which I'll link his channel in the description box below. And I'm going to have James and Louie, which you've seen before. So I don't know when that's going to happen yet, but we're going to work it out. But other than that, let's get into the video. Okay, so first off, I got to go because my sister is part of the ghost hunting group called Motor City Ghost Hunters. And they're a great group of people. I got to meet them. They're really cool people. They're very nice people. This is not an ad, but they are very nice people. So I got to go to this asylum though because they were actually short of volunteers. So my sister brought me to volunteer with them. And in my volunteer position, I ended up being a wrangler, which basically I would keep people from wandering too far from the group. I'd take them up to each floor, and then there's a tour guide there that would kind of give them the information and experience the kind of different things that happen in the room with like using spirit boxes and a whole bunch of equipment that they had there. So my job was basically a sheep herder. Keep them from getting lost, touching things that they're not supposed to touch. So that was definitely a fun experience. And then by the end of the night though, I ended up being able to record some of that footage for you. And I wish I was able to record earlier in the video, like earlier in the asylum, because there's so many crazy things that were happening that, I mean, I wish I could have, but I was working there. So I'm going to talk about those experiences that weren't recorded. So basically, in the basement, I'm not going to tell you everything about this person because you'll have to go and experience that for yourself. But basically, well, this spirit. So basically, this spirit is aggressive towards men. And there's a whole story behind that, which again, I'm not going to explain because you have to go there and learn the history for yourself. But while I was down there, there was some footsteps, and then a door was slamming, which they sent one of the other wranglers down to see if there was a person there that wasn't supposed to be there. But they didn't say, or they said there wasn't anybody there. And then I was talking with this other guy, and he and I both saw like a white mist-like shadow go walking across the room, and then footsteps following after it. And then I was searching the rooms because I was trying to make sure that nobody in my group got lost or separated from the group. And while I was in one of the other rooms, a metal hinge was thrown right next to me. And everybody kind of turned around and saw that there was a metal hinge because they heard the metal and they were looking around to see what it was. And I was thinking, oh, I must have dropped something out of my pocket, so shining my light around, and there's a metal hinge right next to me. While I was in one of the other rooms on the upper level, we had like a machine. Again, there's another spirit that really likes women, but he's not aggressive towards men, he just won't do anything when there's men around. So while we were in there though, he has this I don't even know what it was. It was some machine that when something happens, or when it's near it, it would sound like a steam engine basically. It was really loud, and it would light up green, but nothing happened while we were in there, so we went to another room and they were using a spirit box to communicate with them. And while they were doing that, I saw out of the corner of my eye the room light up green, and I told him, hey, there's something going on in there, and he turned off the volume, and it's really, really loud in there from that steam engine sounding thing. And then actually one of the unrecorded things the recorded things that I did get though, in the video, you can't see it because my camera is terrible at night, but there was a girl in one of the investigators, and her hair was lifted up, and all three people in the room were like, hey, your hair just went up at the exact same time, so we knew what was going on. Also, if you watch the beginning of the footage, there's a flashlight, and when it turns it on, after my sister says something about 13, the light turns on, and then she tries to tell it to turn it off, and it wasn't turning it off. And then when she mentioned 13 again, the light got brighter. But if you really pay close attention to the flashlight, every time she kind of says turn off, it would turn the flashlight just very, very tiny, but if you really pay attention, you can see it. Like, instead of looking at the light, look at the back end of the flashlight, and you'll be able to see it turn. There's so much happening, and towards the end of the night, though, when we were all getting ready to leave, there was a group of people that were kind of going on the floors to make sure that nobody was, hanging out there and just trying to stay and whatnot. And while they were there on the speaker set that we had, they said that like they were kind of panicked sounding, and I'm thinking there's some kind of a security issue. But they come downstairs and they start talking about this thing called a creeper. It's like a Native American spirit, and it feeds off basically negative energy, and it looks creepy. And it's been up on this floor this entire time, and it hissed at them apparently. I wasn't there, so I can't say if it was true or not. But they sound kind of panicked, so I'm starting to think that maybe it was the truth. But I'm actually wondering, because I didn't put any subtitles on what the spirit boxes were saying, because I didn't want it, because I could have heard something that you didn't hear. Like, it could have said hello, and I thought it said goodbye, but you guys could have said it sounded like hello to me. So I want to know if you heard anything or you saw anything that I didn't or whatnot. I want you to tell me in the comments below what you saw or heard that I did not. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll probably do another one about the lighthouse and the Memphis Cemetery, and I might even go re-explore that with James and Louie again. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but other than that, be kind, be weird, but give somebody a hug today.